Hi everyone, Anthony here. Welcome to the channel. I'm giggling because someone's messing with me already. I was not going to do a video. You will never see me this funky looking. It's late at night. I was just laying on the sofa watching a channeled message from Molly, Crossroads Meets the Ocean Rose. And there's something that directly came out that I said about 3 days ago, and my guides gave it right back to me. The divine and my guides gave it right back to me in a reading, and I was like in shock. I just set up like full on attention because they called me out on something and reminded me of something. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. I do have some notes, but if you remember the last episode we were talking about, I believe it was this one. Oh, I know we had talked about the artificial timelines and how I was wrestling with that. But so I just got off a trip and I took my notebook with me, and I have this. So that period between the last video and this video, it's been about 8 days. And normally I get you guys' videos a lot closer together. I don't have, so much time doesn't pass. But I just kind of have been feeling, remember in that one, I think we titled that one Calmness. So this new calmness is coming over. Remember, months earlier, I woke up not feeling worry. And now I woke up with being calm. So now I've got two things that, no longer are in my realm that are absolute miracles. So I know you guys are probably sitting there going, okay, how do you do that? Don't ask me how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I'm just telling you what is happening. And that's the best way I can describe it. And it does feel amazing because there's just things I'm just not concerned about anymore. And I don't know if that's me taking more authority in my own power and standing more in my own light. Or if it's a combination of things, because sometimes we don't get the answer to everything, and most things, some things, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that, some things, we just, there's some things out there, you take on faith, and you just allow it to work within your life, and you go with it, and then you roll with those punches, and you integrate what you want, and you become a better person. You evolve, you keep evolving, so we keep evolving. So what's kind of rare for flight attendants is when we stay at hotels, if we get a jacuzzi. So this is a legit jacuzzi. Now, you guys know I've said many, many times I love to take baths. And baths are very spiritual for me because I pull together lotions and soaps to create water from the earth, and then also to enhance it. And then I always go into a prayer meditation session. Sometimes I'm listening to very faint Hertz music in the background, sometimes not, because not all the televisions in the hotel rooms have like YouTube as a channel that you can watch. They'll just have regular cable television, which doesn't have music like that on it. So this one did, and I had chosen a Hertz frequency that I was really pleased with, and I thought, okay, that'll be cool. It'll be on low. I get into the tub, and it's big, which I love. It wasn't long, but it was really, really wide. And so I put my lotions and things in there. You guys are going to laugh. You know where this is going. When the water got high enough, I got up and turned the jets on. Oh my God, I had bubbles everywhere. I had to legit let almost all the water out because I had so much bubble. And then put more water back in as I'm trying to drain the bubbles out. And so I had to fill it twice almost. And it was just heavenly. Oh my God, it was heavenly. And I was just so relaxed. And I was just in this super chill mood, and like nothing was bothering me. And I just had this really relaxed prayer meditation session going on where I'm just like, okay, I'm accepting everything. I'm just going to go with it. Divine timing, that's fine, blah, 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 blah. And I kind of said the night before, when I was still local to Texas, when I did my prayer manifestation and meditation out in the park, that I was trying to claim all my gifts and the things that were going to be happening, but I made a comment. I made a comical comment that came back and hit me. I said, but for all these things out there, I'll believe it when I see it. Okay, so tonight, you will not believe the angel card that came up was 333, and its name was Luck Arrives. Now, life is so much like this. The divine does work miracles every single day, every single hour, every single minute. My channel, my aquascaping channel, has been at 330 subscribers for a while, and then it jumped up to 331, and then when it hit 332, I went into prayer about this, and I said, hey, you know, there's a 333 in my seniority number where I work, and I know that 333 is, you know, one of the numbers that frequently pops up, and I see it, and I said, I'm about to have 333 subscribers. It would be awesome if something magical would happen with the channel, you know, like a miracle or something. And I kind of was like, I think this is your opportunity to do something. It would be really, really cool. Well, then I hit 333 and I was excited. So I've been 333 for an entire day. And so when the angel card came up 333 and it just says luck arrives, like looking around, okay, where? Physically, where is it at? So I don't know. Well, I'll keep you posted on that, on what's happening with that. But the second one that came through, the angel message, oh my God, this is me. This card was for me. There's no doubt. The card said, you manifest, you pray, but you will only believe it when you see it. That's verbatim what I said, and it's printed on an angel card as a message to the collective. So, and after that, it's been added, great luck is yours now. You're the heir to divine abundance. And at the top, it's like, it said on there, believe before you see. That's having faith and living by faith. So believe before you see, which is probably what I'll call this video, believe before you see. Because if you don't, and you say it during a prayer meditation session, it will come back to you from your guides and the divine. They will tell you, no, you manifested and now you need to believe. Because sometimes it's just really hard for me. I do try to be very, very humble, and I don't always try to claim all my gifts because I don't know if I can do all of them. And some of them I'm like, well, I don't know if I really can do that. And like one of them's kind of embarrassing that I can do it. And so I haven't even told you guys what it is yet. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you, I think I'm a sexual healer. Oh my God, there, I just said it out loud. More on that in another video, though. But, so in this calmness that I had in the whirlpool, I was like super chill about it. I was like, okay, that's gonna happen, blah, blah, blah. So then I got home yesterday, of course slept most of the day when I got home. And then today, so tonight I went out to the park again, and I kind of followed up on that. I'm like, okay, these things are gonna happen. I know they're coming in. I know X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of try to relist everything in my memory that I know is coming forward, or things that I've manifested, and just acknowledge that, yes, I know they're coming in, but I know that it's divine timing, so I just need to be patient and keep my foot off the gas, you know, basically. And so I did all that. And so then it was very interesting that this reading was recorded today, and I watched it tonight, and I'm like, wow, how appropriate is that? Because I have been dealing with this, I've resolved it again, and, you know, try to move on forward and try to stand in my power. And when I say standing in my power, that's not something you can just always say and it's the easiest thing to do, because, you know, sometimes you have these little doubts. You have doubts about your abilities and your doubts about will you be able to be effective, but it kept coming through. I'm a born leader, and this is part of my DNA, and this is part of my spiritual DNA. And when I say my spiritual DNA, I'm talking back on to what my Sirian heritage would bring to the table as well, because you know you can have pieces of that. So yes, I've been born into this 3D, into this family I'm in now. That's part of your DNA. But then I carry also my spiritual DNA with me that's attached to my soul, that I don't have any memory of it, but it manifests its way through my intuition a lot of times. And so that's how sometimes I'll say something and I don't know why I said it or use the words that don't make sense to me, but then it comes across later, I'll get the rest of the information and I was spot on. And so that tells me that my guides are really helping me in ways I just don't understand. It's so much more encompassing than I thought that they would have in our direct lives. But I realized that even from day one, when I knew I was awake, the first thing I said was, I'm a warrior on the ground, and I just didn't give that up. I just did not. And I said from that first day also, I am a Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, and then I knew I was an Empress energy. And the reason why I felt I aligned with the feminine side is because I'm birthing every single day. Everything you see around me in my studio is something I created. So when you're creating, that's tapping into your feminine side, your artistic feminine side. When you're in your power mode, or when, like, I'm doing something that's completely different, task-oriented, and I'm staying focused and regimented and something like that, that's when I'm more in my masculine. And so we float back and forth between each one because we have both within us. So when I said those things, I didn't know why I said it, I just knew it resonated with me. And so when I know it does, when it feels right, I don't question it, I just go with it. But one of the things I wanted to back up to was, on the layover, I did listen to a secret shaman oracle. She had a special general message for my sign, and that's how you will find her. If you want to pull this one up, it's literally Secret Shaman Oracle is her title, and then you won't ever see her face. You'll see a beautiful table that has different graphics on it, and then she spreads the cards out on this table and pulls everything together. She's just amazing. But one of the things I wanted to give you the information, I wrote this one down verbatim, was in the title. The title of her video was very, very significant. Messages meant for the one to receive it. If the confirmation that you need, it is the confirmation. For the confirmation, it's a 4. Hello, my shorthand. For the confirmation that you need, at the end, find out what blessing Spirit has been preparing for you next. And Cancer was the first card to come forward, and so my sign is Cancer. So I thought, okay, this is just spot on. The Spirit blessings is Ancient Justice, and I thought this was really, really powerful because, you know, we have been grappling with the last 2 videos about justice from my past relationship, not just my current one. But this, there is also this Ancient Justice. There's going to be an ally that's going to have my back, that's going to bring forth clarity and truth. And then also being blessed with the divine through seeing eyes. And that, when I went further into that, that's like to where you can see past, kind of like the bullshit. Like if someone's trying to bullshit you, I hope I can say that. If someone's trying to like cloud you or, you know, gaslight you or blow smoke up your skirt, you can see what others cannot see. And you can just, you can discern when someone's not basically authentic. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. But that was the spiritual blessing. So we just went right straight to the end on that. So I've got like 7 little hits here. Time to feel activation, enhancement. My soul has opened up to and prepared for the rewards of change. My physical and spiritual self are aligned. loving my vessel. It's interesting, vessel, if you guys remember on the very first time that I did a bath on a layover and I called my body a vessel, it kind of freaked me out because I didn't know why I was saying that. Well, now vessel's popping up everywhere. And there's also an acceptance and knowing it will arrive in divine timing or arrive at the right time. So it arrives on time for you when you need it or when it's supposed to. So it's not like from our 3D we can feel like that we don't feel anything happening. And I think if you guys remember, what was the saying that was from the last video we did, I think it was chaos. Oh yes, chaos is not what you think it is. Chaos is when your guides and your angels are working behind the scenes to get you aligned with something that's on your path, that you're meant to receive, or someone you're meant to meet, or whatever it happens to be. But that's what chaos is. So we may feel chaos, but what it actually is a whole troop of people behind us that are working behind the scenes so that things line up when they're supposed to line up. But for our side, we may see it as chaos, and we may feel like nothing's really, moving forward when it actually is. We just can't see it yet because we're not privy always to the big picture, because we have our own things that are going on. I'm relying more on myself. I'm in more of a powerful and authoritative way. Strongly independent and often solitary with self. Integrity is very important. Natural justice. I use my intuition and let life unfold in a natural way. All of those resonate. Okay, especially this part about being solitary. I always thought it because I was a flight attendant and I like to avoid crowds because it drains my energy. Strongly independent, yes. I've always been that way, and my mom was that way. So I always thought I just inherited that from her because my mom was like that. Authoritative way, yeah, I'm trying to be more when I recite my that my angel posse are the angels that keep me standing in my light, speaking my truth, being on my highest and my best path forward. I get very authoritative when I make statements like that out loud during my prayer meditations. And then I've noticed that my voice changes at different times when I'm taking on something that I feel very strongly about, and especially when we're talking about balance and justice in the universe and within our lives, because I feel personally aligned with that. And also when we're talking about the planet, I have a tendency to get a little stern when I'm talking about stuff like that. And I have zero tolerance for people that abuse the planet the way they do. Let's see. Oh, I use my intuition and let life unfold in a natural way, using my light, silent perfections. Love is my strength. Leadership is my path. Wisdom inspires everyone I meet. I think that's my wisdom. I think I left out mine, yeah. I will always understand every problem and overcome it. And it's been explained in my soul. This creates order within my internal world. Well, that was a lot. I know there was more to it. I broke it down. I am cloaked in a spiritual filter. That was very interesting because I've never heard anyone say anything like that. And so I haven't looked that one up yet. I should have done that before we did the video. I am cloaked in my destiny, and we are in a timeline activation now. Cloaked is something that was referred to when she was talking about that our sign had a snow leopard as a spirit guide, an animal spirit guide. And we're talking about cloaked in a snow leopard, the fierceness that we're always kept warm internally because of the coat of the snow leopard, no matter how cold it is. And she was making a metaphor about it, and it was really interesting, but I didn't write all that down. Oh, yeah, I've read one more sentence. The snow leopard cloak as protective and quiet. Inner compass, be confident. I will receive the right information at the right time. Oh my gosh, I'm going to sneeze. Forgive me. Okay. Okay, almost. Okay, so I'll receive the right information at the right time. Let's see. Oh, it says I can teach on gratitude and prayer. Okay, so that's kind of interesting because what we talk about more in this channel is what happens when I go through my prayer meditations. That really is literally in every single video I talk about. And I've given you guys examples before of exactly what I say when I'm in a prayer meditation. That didn't even hit me until now. So yeah, that's a big thing right there because that's what I'm doing right now. Right now doing this video, we are talking about a prayer meditation. That's amazing. What is meant for me makes its way to me naturally and organically. So that is what came through on that reading. And then I had the day, then after that, which was a travel day. And then we have today where I have, you need to believe it before you see it. So I thought it was comical that my guides chose my own words to put this back out there again, to show me that, like, yeah, you can manifest and you can pray about it and you can talk about it, but you got to believe it before you see it. And I made that comment verbatim. And I've told you before that my guides have a massive sense of humor. They really do. They send me song lyrics all the time. And sometimes I will wake up and I'll say, what is this for? Or I'll have to look the words up. Like, there was one I just got. It's an old song, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. And I remember when I was a child, it was one of my favorite songs. I think I had it on a record, a little 45 record. And I didn't remember what the words were, so I looked it up. And it is so appropriate. Raindrops may be falling on my head, but that's not going to dissuade me. That, you know, I'm still going to get what... It goes on and it talks about no matter what happens, raindrops falling on your head is no big deal because you're still going to get what you are going to get. And I know I'm paraphrasing, but if you want to look up the lyrics, I don't even have my phone right me because it was on my phone, but I didn't want to get my phone. See how unprepared I was for this tonight? But I love the fact that as soon as I heard in the message what came through on those cards and the angel number and the angel message, I said out loud, okay, I'll do a video now about this one because I thought it was just too ironic. And there is no irony. There is only divine timing. And I guess I'll have to say that forever. And you guys are just going to have to get tired of that. But I do love the relevance to luck is arriving at 333. And there's so many little synchronicities that have popped up that really just make this a really fun journey. And I hope you guys get that. I don't want you to, yes, it can be scary. I'm not going to lie about it. It can be very scary and you can feel like, oh my God, you have this big weight on your shoulders of something that you have to do that's on some grand scale. No, you don't. Mine is aquascaping, but I feel like I should be on a stage talking to people. And I feel like it's something just like what I'm doing right now with you guys. I think this may be my longest job interview, if that's what you want to call it. We have 30 videos right now, and maybe someone's going to see one of them and say, hey, there's some relevance there, there's realism. I don't hold anything back. I talk about the good and the bad and the confusing. You know about the times that I just lash out at my guides, and then when I have to go back and apologize, and then when I say something jokingly that comes back to haunt me 2 days later. So, because they've honed it back in. There was one thing I wanted to say to you, though, that I thought about earlier that I was going to include in the video if I were going to do it. So, you know, you have your choice out there when you start watching channeled messages. And you guys, you know, I've said it before, I do pick a card because I love it, because you pick the card and then don't cheat and listen to the other ones, just listen to yours. And if it doesn't resonate, that's fine. And then I do the ones that are sign specific. And then I do basically Molly's, which is a general collective, and that's for all signs. Oh, I do tea leaves. There's one that's a tea leaf. It's like a little 3-minute video, but let me tell you, that 3-minute video packs in just as much information as an hour-long channeled message. So here's my advice on when you first are starting out. You're gonna listen to everybody. I'm sorry, you're just gonna do it because you're not gonna know where to turn to. But find one that resonates with you. Find one that you can make at least a connection to, or you can listen to enough of. And you know when they're speaking from their heart and the divine, and they're not telling you just to go on to another site and go into the extended, which you have to pay for. I've never done that. I don't feel the need I have to do that because my messages do come through. I have asked for it. But from Molly's, which can be an hour long, to channeled sign messages, which could be a few minutes long, to the tea leaves, which could be 3 or 4 minutes long, they're giving me the same information. Now the tea leaves, they don't pull cards. They just read the tea leaves. And come out with the exact same information from the other sources. And when I visit one channeler versus another one within the same time span, I'm talking about the same day or 2 days, the same cards will come up. So all your channelers out there that are being divinely led, the divine is sending out this message to multiple vessels. That's my point. It may not matter who you listen to, so don't feel like because I have someone on my channel that I listen to that's going to be amazing for you. That's just who that works for me, that I am comfortable in their messages. Maybe it's something in their voice or their facial expressions or their realism whenever they're talking about a card. Like you'll see their sense of humor and their shock, and you'll start to be able, the ones that show you their face, you can read their facial expressions, or at least I can. So I can kind of get a heads up about what they're about to say. So to me, you can weed out a lot and make your life a lot easier. But just in the beginning, you're going to be watching everybody. I'm sorry, you're going to go full tilt overload, and then you're going to be able to backtrack a little bit. I don't know how long it's going to take you to do that, but it took me some months to do that, to where now I don't feel compelled that I have to watch everybody's. I have videos that I don't watch because if I just did a collective message, and I've tested it in the past by watching a lot of them at once, and I know they're all going to say the same thing. There's one or two that may give you a slant difference. So that's where you need your intuition to come in and play. And I'll give you a very specific example. Like my soon-to-be ex-husband wants to make a comeback. I've known about this for months and months and months. He's never apologized, though. He's never been able to vocalize his apology and then what he would like to do going forward. But I know it already. I've had too many channeled messages. I know exactly what he wants to say, but he's not going to be able to say it. But in a couple of channelers, they keep emphasizing that there will be a reunion, when I emphatically say this person is blocked and there is not going to be a reunion. So you will see something like that. When they read that energy, they may see the 50-50 odds of most of the collective reuniting with this person. But then I'm on the other end. I'm part of the collective that is not reuniting back with my spouse. So there you have to, your own intuition has to pull in for you. Because remember, it is a general collective reading. It's not going to be there for everybody. So don't attach yourself to one storyline if it does not fit you completely. Don't try to make the channeled message fits you. You should not have to. The divine will not make it that complicated. It will be very easy. You just find the one that makes you feel like they're speaking directly to you, it's resonating with you, and the ones that don't, just let them fall by the wayside and just stick to your core. And just know that sometimes you may need to take a break from them. It's kind of hard. It's kind of like watching a soap opera. Once you get into it, you don't really want to stop. But I've taken breaks before. I've whittled mine down to just a few now when I was watching a lot before. But when you're first learning, you're trying to get as much information as possible. And when you watch channel messages, you learn a lot of phrases that you got to look up anyway. That's why my phone has 50 pages saved in it, because of things I've had to look up that I need to go flip back to and say, okay, what was that again? So that's my big takeaway that I wanted to point out, that there's a lot of the messages out there. They will seem similar. Depends on the reader and their interpretation of the card they're pulling up and what channeled message they're getting. If this channel message is talking to more people that are going to reunite, that may be their slant. Then you can always not claim that part of the message. That's always your option. Remember, you always have a choice. So, until that being said, until you see me up in the skies as your flight attendant, or on our next video update, I'm wishing you guys nothing but light and love. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.